Hello and welcome everyone, I am Madals and welcome to some more Heart of the Swarm beta games, and today it is going to be a TvP. We are sitting here with the red Terran player in the top left position. It is Polt. His opponent in the lower right, it is the blue Protoss. It is areaKitty. So therefore we should have some great action coming up. I know Polt has been doing very well in Heart of the Swarm. Both of these players are high grandmasters, so therefore tip-top shape, putting lots of time no doubt as well to the expansion, and therefore should have formulated some interesting strategies, some interesting techniques, utilising new units maybe. This is before balance change 13, therefore Widow Mines don't one-shot Zealot and Stalkers, which is the only real change that really has affected this matchup. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about what else we could be seeing. Acheron Waste is a large map, so therefore a macro-orientated game is possible. I know Kitty really likes going for the Bling Stalker play with a Mothership Core against Terran, and on Acheron Waste you can utilise this area of cliff quite effectively for that type of strategy. And due to the rocks being down here, it's difficult to come and snipe out a pylon which is sitting in that sort of position without getting your army completely isolated from your base, which is nonetheless very frustrating. But to be honest, I'll wait and see. I don't want to make a prediction yet, because being a best of one, it's very hard to predict what people are going to go for when there are a lot of options and there isn't a super specific meta game or thought out strategy which is just great. So Polt, I would say from the time being, with the barracks coming down, a 1-Rax command center is quite likely. I know he likes to play that way. Really want to see whether there's going to be any gas down, because that's a big tell in if you're going to see any Reapers or anything. Reapers on this map are okay, just because you can get across it quite quickly. You can utilise this bit of cliff to get up into the main. But what we've got from Kitty at the moment is just 1 gas, 1 gate, 1 cyber. So what we're looking for is, do we see a second gas anytime soon? No second gas, we can narrow down to either being a 4-gate strategy or a expansion coming down, one or the other. See the second gas, Bling Stalker, Stargate play, ultimately become a very viable option and something that we could be seeing. So that's what Polt will ultimately be looking for when he comes into the main and just gives a quick little scout out. Now, in terms of what Polt's doing, as I thought, a 1-Rax command center. We'll probably follow this up with 2 more barracks and then the gas. That's the most likely way of doing it, but you can also get the gas first. It just depends what sort of mid-game style you want to go for, whether you want to get out a quick tech or anything like that. But for the time being, Polt has seen that there is no second gas at the moment, sees that that's not down yet, and therefore knows that actually my opponent is probably going to expand fairly soon. So therefore, I'll chuck down an engineering bay. I'll block the expansion. This limits my opponent's options, and it also gives me a good read, because if I don't see them come down here and try and kill it, well, that just means that actually I'm safe, and you're not going to be able to put on much pain to me. You can't 4-gate now, really. I'll have enough defense unless you'd already decided you were going to go for that. Sees that the Stalkers come down, doesn't see the probe quite yet. And where is this probe going? Oh my goodness, going to take the 3rd first. This is a really interesting strategy, and this does actually really put Kitty in the position where he's gonna have to take a quick 3rd and his natural there. With a Mothership Core, that's viable, it's possible to do, but is Polt gonna try and punish it? That is the important thing to take a look at. So we've got that Zealot just pushing forward, just getting pushed back by Polt's Marines. Polt got up that bunker. He's also getting up an additional 2 barracks. No gas yet though. They're just getting started now. So his build is looking perfectly normal. Meanwhile, this engineering bay is taking a world and tomorrow to get down. Polt gonna want to come and really work out what's going on, because his concern, because he hasn't seen this base, is that actually my opponent has had their natural delayed a long period of time. Maybe they've transitioned into some early aggression, but Kitty instead just taking a super risk by going for this. He literally went 1-gate Nexus. I don't believe I've actually seen a 3rd base that greedy out of a Protoss, especially in this matchup. So this is going to be super interesting in how it works. Kitty does have the 2nd gas now, is also getting a Twilight Council. Meanwhile for Polt, just getting a tech lab on the barracks, so going to be starting Stim no doubt very early on. It's essential, and that's the sort of thing which Polt will really benefit well from. If you get an engineering bay up as well in his main, that'll allow him to get the +1 infantry weapons, and with that he can then go for a Stim +1 timing push, and that would be super strong against the build Kitty's going for at the moment, because the Twilight Council Just means that there's not going to be anything really to defend it other than gateway units, but a Dark Shrine coming down. Polt, he may not be expecting this. He doesn't have a missile turret down anywhere, so he doesn't have detection yet. If he gets a scan off in the main though, he would see it. It's just whether he uses that scan now or at least in the near future, so he will have time to react to it. But there's also the case of just making sure that you've got the map control. A proxy pylon's going to need to come down if there's going to be DT harassment. There's also the option of it just going into oracles. Not oracles, archons rather. Goodness, I mix up words sometimes, but archons, Zealot Archon mid-game would be good for Kitty, but it just gets you into a little box that is a bit more difficult to get out of, to be honest, just in the tech part it is. So that'll have to do some good damage. And here comes down the scan. What does it see? Well, it sees the natural is down. Polt still doesn't know about the third, and he needs to scan the main. Desperately needs to scan the main, and that is just to spot this key tech, because if he doesn't see that tech coming down, he could possibly run into problems, but blindly getting down the missile turret, that is good news. He still doesn't know about this base. That means that he's unaware that he's a base down for the moment. So Kitty actually getting very far ahead in terms of the worker count. His income is going to be better than that of Polt, and potentially could have done some good damage with the DTs, but with the missile turret there and the double bunker, just not going to happen. So for Kitty's sake, we hope there's not going to be too many DTs, just the one for the moment. Two, please don't do any more than two. Two is plenty. One DT is, I hope my opponent doesn't have detection. Two is, oh my goodness, let there not be detection. And anything over two is you just cross your fingers, toes, arms, legs, and everything for good luck. But let's talk about what Polt's doing. He's getting up stim, it's nearly done. He's getting +1 out, he's getting his starport just completed, he's getting the reactor. Remarauder medevac is the style of play he's going to be comfortable with. With the boost and with this amount of dead space outside the main, drops are very likely. So hopefully Kitty will get in a situation to prepare for that. Getting charged down now, because if you've gone for this Dark Shrine, you're going to need to get charged to go Zealot Archon. More gateways being added on, double upgrades coming down as well. But this third base is just the absolute critical piece of the puzzle, and something that, in all fairness, Polt needs to identify. If he doesn't see this third base soon, he's going to start getting very far behind, because he hasn't started his own third command center yet. So he's either got to go and put on some pressure fairly soon, or he could miss that critical window where Kitty's risky economical play will be caught up in terms of just he'll reap the rewards of getting the better income. But Polt is now moving across that 1 DT, did a little bit of damage. Now Kitty knows the more is on its way. He's getting out some Archons. He's just trying to get in a defensive position, but this is quite a sizable force, to be honest. And if we look at the army supply, Polt is ahead, and that's not going to be too much fun when we know that it's mainly a gateway force for Kitty, bar that one Archon. There's also not the mothership core yet, so Polt is inevitably going to try and go for this. And did he see the probe? No, I don't believe he did, otherwise he would have gone to that base straight away. The Polt now sitting there. He's got the 2 medevacs, sending the 1 marine up to get a quick look. Doesn't feel like he's got it, and that second probe, did that probe give away the third base? Does Polt not know? Was that out of vision? It would have been so close, and if Polt did see one of those workers, he could go and take it down very quickly. But here comes the boosted medevacs. They are on their way into the main base. They are going straight down there, ready to try and spot it. But Kitty should be aware of what's happening now, because he sees that most of the army has magically disappeared, and therefore may try and deal with it, but instead pushing forward. He needs to warp in some units, otherwise he's going to take a lot of damage in his main. The drop now coming down. Kitty trying to pull back ASAP. Some DTs getting warped in, but unfortunately the pylon getting sniped off before they're able to complete prevents that very fast. And now with more pylons going down, the DTs do manage to complete due to being powered from somewhere else, but still a little bit of damage done, and Polt lost nothing at all there. But in the center of the map, he did lose a couple of units. He still does not, oh no, he does. So I was about to be like, he doesn't have a third yet, but he does have the third command center just finished up. I didn't think it had quite finished yet, but that just means that Kitty 68 to 57 workers. This third base has been operational for such an extortionately long amount of time that Kitty is economically great. Upgrade wise, Kitty's looking good as well. 1-1 against just the +1 attack for Polt. And with 2-2 already on the way for Kitty, getting Chrono boosted out like a madman, he is definitely gonna be feeling good, like very happy, very confident in his ability. He's got charged down. This pure infantry force is gonna start struggling for Polt, but as we can see now, the Zealots charging in, the Archon's doing good damage. There goes down an absolutely brilliant time war, preventing the retreat from some of those infantry. But with the 2 bunkers up, the SCVs getting pulled. Can Kitty do it? Well, here comes the aggression. It's poking up, trying to get this around the SCVs, trying to repair as quickly as they can. The bunkers doing good damage. The Zealots are focusing down everything, though. The bunkers are falling oh so fast, and areaKitty just getting so much momentum here. Polt must be just oh so confused. How can there be so much army here? Must realise that there is a hidden base somewhere, because there's no way a Protoss player can get up this much by the 13-minute mark. And as we're seeing now, Polt in serious trouble. This mothership core even getting in on the action, dealing some damage, but SCV is getting pulled, trying to last as long as possible. But I just don't think Polt's going to be able to do it, even if he holds this off. He has lost oh so many workers. He is now down to just the 25 of this to the 68 of Kitty, and the army is still looking to be unstoppable. And there goes the GG. Kitty does take out Polt in what was a very legitimate game, so big congratulations to Kitty for that, and bad luck to Polt. But thank you everyone for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure you like the video, leave a cool comment, and of course subscribe, and I hope to see each and every one of you tomorrow for yet another new game. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.